Spoiler alert. This video will contain spoilers for season 2 of The Boys. What's up everybody, it's me E-Man from E-Man's Movie Reviews, and I just got done watching The Boys episode 5, and I gotta say that this was a pretty decent episode. It wasn't like mind-blowing or anything, but I kind of feel as though this would have been one of the perfect examples of an episode that you actually needed to show the second episode right after. I mean, you know how like in the first 3 episodes they gave it to us all at once and then they started going weekly. I kind of feel like you got to give us like episode 5 and 6, because episode 4 with Homelander and the milk and all that other stuff, that was enough. You know what I'm saying? Like the height and excitement from that episode was enough to kind of like hold us over for the next week. I kind of feel as though this episode was like, it was good, it was cool, but at the same time, I'm like, all right, I need the next follow-up. Like, y'all didn't give me enough to really sit here and be like, you know, have like a worthwhile cliffhanger, you know, outside of what we saw. Now, again, that doesn't mean nothing good happened, because there definitely was some good stuff. So let's go over some of the character stories. First up, we got Kimiko with Frenchie chasing her like a lapdog. Man, yo, Kimiko is at it again. Yo, she just ripped my man's face off. I was like, oh, man. Oh God, that was just brutal, man. But yo, we knew Kimiko was always a beast. Like when she first came on the scene, she was just tearing people up. So she's back at it again. It looks like she's working for Frenchie's other female associate, who I guess is working for the Albanians. I don't know if that's like a mafia or group or whatever. But Frenchie is still chasing her. And I'm just sitting here like, bruh, don't save her. She don't want to be saved. You know, what are you doing? Like, now, to Frenchie's credit, he did bring up a good point, though, because Kimiko was like, leave me alone. You know, my brother, this and this. And Frenchie was like, yo, like, you're not even trying to let me help you because you've never taught me your sign language, because she's coming up with like her own, or she came up with her own unique sign language. And it is kind of true, because Frenchie did start trying to help her learn English, but she never reciprocated that effort either. Now, does she have to? Probably not. It's not really on her to, you know, teach him whatever, but I don't know. Like, where do you think this is going to go? Because to me, I'm sitting there thinking like, man, Frenchie, you need to just leave that alone, man. But I don't know. Moving on, we got Annie, and she is out here with her mommy issues still going on, which, by the way, was kind of bogus for her mom to just show up on the set like that. But Annie is still being pretty nosy as she's going through Stormfront's emails and stuff, and it looks like Annie's also going to figure out eventually that Stormfront has some sort of connection to Lamplighter, and we did see Lamplighter for the very first time. By the way, who do you think is the 17-year-old kid that they were talking about? But you know what? Let me say this about Annie. Her ability to kind of like play things off and, you know, put a nice little performance on whenever she gets caught, because she keeps getting caught, you know, in weird situations. It is getting a little better. I know, you know, Stormfront can kind of see through it a little bit, but I'm kind of impressed, because where Annie came from before and where she's getting to now, I think she's making strides. Moving on to Hughie, I don't understand this dude's desperate need for Billy's approval and attention. He looks like a puppy dog chasing after his owner. I don't know, but I guess this whole connection with Billy's younger brother, Lenny, and the similarities between him and Hughie, I guess that's where the formation of this friendship is going to go. But I can't say that it's all that interesting. But I do like the idea that Hughie is kind of like the calming effect, you know, to bring a little sensibility while Billy is out there just being buck wild and crazy. Next up, we have Maeve. Now, let me just say this. Elena's character was getting on my last nerves. You got a whole superhero psycho that can kill you and Maeve whenever, however, and you can't just sit there and play the role until the coast is clear. I mean, like, I'm sorry. Look, I'm with the whole idea of, like, standing up for what you believe in and all this stuff. When you got a superhero like that, Homelander on your butt like that, man, you better watch out. And Maeve is out here being reckless too. She out here already kind of like revealing her secret plan of trying to take down Homelander and everything. Do you not realize this dude has superhuman hearing? Like, he's already overheard half of your conversations, and you just gonna be reckless like that and just talk about, like, we're gonna take him down. I'm like, wasn't he, like, right there on the set? I don't know. But either way, I do like the idea that Maeve is now going to go and recruit the Deep to try and have him partner up with her to take Homelander down. I wouldn't be surprised if they also got A-Train too. And maybe the majority of the 7 will flip on Homelander. But going back to the Deep, looks like he's out here trying to clean up his image by joining the collective religion or whatever. And I'm kind of interested in seeing where that goes. Not to mention the fact that Stormfront used to be with them. But we got to talk about Homelander here. First of all, I love the Joss Whedon Justice League shade that was thrown. That was just perfectly hilarious and well timed. I loved all of it. Even the color shading, how they were going from like that tint, type of shade to like the north. That, great job. Now, Homelander, I think what's going on with him is the fact that like he's really starting to expose himself in terms of his shortcomings, where he's not as smart as he thinks he is. Mr. Edgar tried to check him on this in earlier episodes. Homelander thinks that he knows what's best. He thinks he knows how to run the show. He thinks he knows how people work, but he really doesn't have much of a clue. And after going out there and killing that terrorist, he also wounds an innocent bystander, and as a result, he goes down 9.5 points. And he's really starting to become unpopular. Now, I don't know about you, but when Homelander was talking to the people, and he had that daydream about lasering everybody in the audience, I was sitting here like, please be a dream. Please be a dream. Oh my God. Oh my God. Like, that was nuts. Because he really would do that. And eventually, I don't know if, maybe I guess he will snap like that one day, but it's clearly inside of him that one of these days, this dude is going to lose it. But one other thing I like about Homelander is just the level of complexity that they give to this character, because he's not like a straightforward villain. I mean, he is a villain. He is a bad guy. But I like the fact that they also show his more vulnerable side. And there are moments where Homelander will actually be humble. He actually went back to Stormfront and was like, I guess I need your help. Can you help a brother out? Because that political pressure and that social pressure that was already happening because of Vought and Compound V, it was just becoming way too unbearable. And then you also got this Congresswoman Newman who's like starting up trouble too. I'm pretty sure she's going to factor in a little bit more later on. But after failing in front of everyone and dropping his PR points or whatever, he clearly owes Stormfront a favor after she helped him out. Oh, but we'll get to that later. Now, we kick it off with Billy pretty much feeling all emo and everything, and he's going into different clubs to, like, get himself beat up, which, I don't know, I guess that's therapeutic or something for him, just to rush right into violence, and whether he's dishing it out or if he's taking it, I don't think he really cares. But when he goes home to his aunt's place, Black Noir actually followed him there. Now, look, I gotta say, we've already seen Black Noir when he's on target with somebody. It's a wrap. So when we saw Black Noir posted up on the roof like he was Spider-Man or something, I was real nervous for Billy. But MM came through with the save. See, this is what I love about MM. He is coming through being resourceful, and he was ready with the traps and everything as they booby-trapped the house waiting for Black Noir. And look, again, I don't know what Black Noir's powers are, but clearly this dude is like indestructible because he just walked through like 3 or 4 bombs that they set in the house with barely a scratch. But man, when they started like confronting him and Black Noir threw a knife at MM's chest, I really got scared for dude because I'm like, wait a minute now, like, is he gonna survive this? But then later on when they showed that MM was okay, I was like, dude, how many bench press push-ups have you been doing where you could get a knife in your chest and you all right? I know that Schmedium t-shirt ain't bulletproof, but Billy versus Black Noir, that was definitely a dope little encounter. Billy doesn't have powers or anything, so I like how he's going to his biggest weapon which is blackmail. I mean, he said this in earlier episodes. The superheroes' weaknesses are their reputations. And when he presented his case talking about he's got photos and he's going to expose them and all that, yo, Mr. Edgar jumped on that call real quick. And shout out to Mr. Edgar, man. This is probably why this dude knows so much, because of this hidden camera that's on Black Noir. So he's clearly always in on the meetings, or he knows what's going on. And Black Noir's just, I guess, been his servant or something, or his spy the whole time. But I love the fact that Mr. Edgar is still running things one way or another. And Billy got real lucky that he had that leverage at the last minute to save Hughie too, by the way. Okay, last but not least, we got to go to your neighborhood friendly racist Stormfront. So apparently Stormfront already knows that Annie was the leak to the press about Compound V. By the way, how do you think Stormfront is going to use Annie? Because she did say something like, oh, you're going to be helpful for me later or something like that. And you saw what she said to Annie, talking about like, don't be racist. Again, racists be the main people. I'm not racist. Don't be racist. But you be racist as ever. Ooh, I don't like her. I don't like her. And I don't care what she says. You know good and well Stormfront had an issue with A-Train. I mean, come on now. People that are racist and try to be fake about it, they be the main ones that smile all in your face and acting all good and cool with you. But the second you turn around, they already talking nasty about you or whatever. So, man, she could get out of here with that. Now, what I also found kind of interesting, though, about Stormfront was how she was helping Homelander out. And her first go-to was to go to her meme supplier or the meme queen. And I just thought that was pretty funny because, yeah, in 2020, in this day and age, a meme can do a lot of damage or a lot of good because, unfortunately, you have a certain number of people out there that happen to be easily persuaded by memes. By the way, don't get your information off memes, please. But, hey, we end off this episode with basically Stormfront calling in a favor, to Homelander. Apparently she's got a thing for him. And apparently she's also a masochist. I mean, she really likes pain. But at the same time, we also saw that she can heal up really quickly, too. So this probably explains the reason why she hasn't aged ever since she was Liberty back in the day. But I gotta say, this was a very different image of superhero sex that I never really imagined. I mean, this gives rough sex a whole new meaning, clearly. And I gotta say, it's pretty funny how, like, the trailers where we saw Homelander, laser eyeing Stormfront. Yeah, we got the whole wrong. We got all of that wrong. We sitting here thinking like, oh man, they about to fight each other. Oh, it's about to go down. Nah, they just about to get it on. Yeah, that's what they about to do. Well, I guess this is kind of interesting because, in the comics, Stormfront is supposed to be a man, but this gender bend that they did, well, it's adding a whole different twist to things. So now I'm sitting here wondering, like, okay, is it really going to be Homelander versus Stormfront now? Or is it going to be Stormfront and Homelander versus everybody else? I don't know. What do you think? So let me know what you thought about this episode in the comments down below. And that's all from me today. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch my video. I'll be back here next week after episode 6 with my reaction and breakdown. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and make sure you hit that bell so you don't miss out when I drop my video. In the meantime, I got more videos and reviews to do for you all. And until next time, I'll see you all later.